Hey everyone, so in this week's video blog, we're going to be discussing stomach acid. So we do have a private Facebook group called the Primal Reset, and currently we are detoxing in there to completely restore our gut flora and rid any form of dysbiosis. So a lot of these issues stem to occur from low stomach acid production, and that can be caused by three main things: stress, chronic infection, and food allergies. And the reason why stomach acid is so important is, one, the obvious, you guys know it helps break our food down. But two is something that's not talked about too often. It's one of the best, and it's the first defenses against microbes. So our stomach pH is anywhere from around 1 to 3, and it's a great defense mechanism to killing parasites, bacteria, fungus, and yeast. It also helps secrete bile. So when the brain understands that you're secreting stomach acid, the next step is for the gallbladder to secrete bile. And bile is very important for several reasons. One, it helps break down our fat properly, but this allows for proper absorption of vitamins and minerals. So if you feel like you have to constantly be on a supplement because you're eating right, but you're just not absorbing to the proper mineral and vitamin levels, you want to start thinking about low stomach acid. So to break these down a little bit further, stress really quick, it secretes cortisol, and cortisol is going to shut down your stomach acid and your GI tract in general. When it comes to chronic infections, there's so many things that can happen here. When we start to eat too much refined sugars, oils, and carbs, we're going to create this imbalance of too much bad bacteria, parasites, fungus, and yeast. And that can create things like SIBO, small intestinal bacterial overgrowth. H. pylori can then occur. And kind of going back to absorbing vitamins and minerals, H. pylori can start to eat up your iron from parasites. And a common response is just start supplementing on iron and maybe B12 and all those types of things. But if you're not getting to the root cause, you're going to constantly be going through this path nonstop. Food allergies, all that is undigested proteins. So many times if you fix the gut and the gut barrier, you can actually slowly reintroduce some of these foods because you're breaking them down properly and your immune system is not reacting anymore to these undigested proteins. So there's a test called the apple cider vinegar test. And all that is it can tell you if you have high stomach acid or low stomach acid. If you dilute just a little bit in water and take a shot of it on an empty stomach and it really has no effect on you, that's a sign that you have low stomach acid. However, if you have high stomach acid, again, you take that shot in an empty stomach and you just start burning really bad, that's most likely a sign that you do have high stomach acid. And that is also a sign that your gallbladder is not firing. When the gallbladder releases bile, it helps neutralize the stomach pH because it's very alkaline. And so if you have an ulcer in your stomach or your small intestine, stress is a huge cause for that. But you want to start looking at how your gallbladder is firing because it helps alkalize the stomach acid there. So let's go back to low stomach acid because that's way more common than high stomach acid. Typically when we have low stomach acid and we eat and we're not digesting it properly, lactic acid can start to build up, and that's the burn that you feel that you think is high stomach acid, but it's not. So it's either the esophagus sphincter or the sphincter between the stomach and the small intestine starts to get really tore up. That's a sign of low stomach acid. So next what we're going to get into is what's some natural things that you can do to start creating normal stomach acid levels. There's a lot of herbs. We discussed that in the group. Today is just going to be more about foods and natural remedies that you can get at a grocery store. So the first thing that I would try out is reduce your meal frequency. If you're having 5 meals a day already with low stomach acid, there's just simply not enough and you're never going to get better. So if you're doing 5, go down to 4. If you're at 4, go to 3. If you're at 3, go to 2. Typically, I don't recommend 1, but allow your body's ability to get hungry and it will naturally start creating gastric enzymes and that hydrochloric acid. Smell your food. So if you're cooking, that's a great way of just getting salivation in your mouth going and those stomach acids to start secreting. Make sure you're chewing your food. So when we chew our food, it's just simply less work on the GI tract. And then you can get into bitters. Bitters work great. Some people use the tinctures, but if you don't want to do tincture, you can do things like ginger, arugula, so salads. Salad is a great appetizer because it's bitter and it starts to produce hydrochloric acid, which is our stomach acid. Make sure that you have a healthy salt. Sea salt and healthy salts is just a precursor to make hydrochloric acid, so that's very important too. Dandelion and citrus can also get those going as well. And then if you do have high stomach acid or low stomach acid, typically there's tissue that needs to be healed in the gut. And two great ones to start with are aloe juice and cabbage juice. There's many other things too, but you, at the same time of creating proper stomach acid, you also need to create healing in the epithelium. So if you guys have any questions, of course, let me know. And if you are interested in detoxing and getting into these health topics, feel free to join our private Facebook group called the Primal Reset. All you have to do is just request to join in, and we'll go from there. All right, thank you.